Hello, guys. How is everybody? Oh, let me show this thing. There we go. I'm still not showing. Tell me when you guys see me. My goodness, this is a long delay. Did it go? There we go. Now I see it. How is everybody? Y'all good? I'm good. Happy Sunday. Hello. Let's see who else here. We've got, and I've seen Chelsea, Sandy Lee. See, we got Linda Strickland, Stephanie Rossi, me, Linda Strickland, Chelsea, Be Kind, Flame Lily, IQ, Yo Bubs. Who else is on here? Algo, Tina Osborne. Who else? We got Be Kind. Every day's a school day. Hello. Rotary Dial and Avocado Baby. I think we're here. How are you guys today? I'm in a much better mood than I was yesterday. It's the day before yesterday. I was in a mood. It took all the mods, minus Chelsea, because she told me I should. All the other ones, they told me, don't make a rant video. Don't make a rant video. It will not go well. Chelsea, if I want to be talked into something bad, I can usually go to her and say, what do you think about it? Hold on, I got my earbuds wrapped up. Chelsea will usually let me do what I want to. If you ever want that person to tell you, yeah, Chelsea's out. There's always one in every bunch, and if you think you ain't got one, you are it. Oh, geez, I didn't put up my makeup brushes before I knock them over in the floor. Get in there. Oh, I'm making more of a mess than I would have if I'd left it alone. Anyway. You were also for a rant video, Algo? Probably. Hello, Miss Wee Lassie. I see you. Amber. It's a Summer Wells case. Like, it's going to drive me up the wall. I no longer have an opinion on the Summer Wells case, except watch my mouth. It's crazy. It's a train wreck. And it's not about summer anymore. Not that it's been about summer for a long time. You know what I mean? And I'm irritated about it. That's why right here we have a picture of Summer. Today is day 82. And that's also Michael Vaughn. It's day 40. And we have no more idea where these kids are than when we started. But I know everything about every dang person that ever has looked at Summer Wells, and I still don't know where she is. That's a problem. And I definitely know too much about some YouTubers who have involved themselves in Summer Wells' case, which that's probably where that rant video is going to go. Who even knows? I'm trying to just read the comments, see if I missed anything. Thanks to everybody who says my makeup looks good. I fought with it today. I did a declutter. I do it like once a year. I hadn't done it in a while. Went through to see what needs to be thrown out, whatever. And so I dug out makeup that I hadn't used in a while. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot I had this. And then I tried to use it. And then it was just like, it wasn't, liquid eyeshadows and cream and all that crap. It will dry out. So I now know that does not go on my to buy list. I can't have a ton of them. Somebody just sent me a beautiful one that I've wanted forever the other day. And you know who you are, and I love you to pieces. I'm not buying anymore. I cannot have as many as I do because I can't use them. And then it's just a waste of money, and then I feel bad throw them away. So, hello, Jesse, Diane, Ryan. Let's see what everybody's saying. contributors and chat. Whoop, scrolled on me. Grandest, yeah. I like whoever turned, I don't know who came up with it. The person that I heard call her Grandest was Chasing Truth. I love that woman. I love her channel. She does not have a filter. I imagine, like, when I listen to her, sometimes I'll be doing other stuff and I'll just listen to her because she'll do 3 or 4 hour live streams, sometimes a couple of times a day. And she just has this realness and openness about her that I feel like I know her. I feel like I was sitting on that daggone porch with her, wishing that the air conditioner wasn't so dang loud while she's writing on her whiteboard. But she just comes off as so real without a filter. She'll tell you what you think, whether you like it or not. So I will catch myself talking back to her. Yeah, amen, girlfriend. So I like her, but she's the first person I ever heard call her Grandis, and it has stuck ever since. That's why I'll call her too, because there's too many dang Candaces, too many Dawns. But I like her channel. So if you don't know who she is, just look up Chasing Truth. She is hilarious. Go subscribe. She deserves to have a ton of subs. She's really, really funny. Really funny. She also does a show with Gray Hughes, and I think she brings out the better half of Gray Hughes. But I like Gray Hughes. He doesn't bother me um much. Every once in a while I'm like, okay, I can't handle that today. But um the show that they do together, they have another channel, and all they're doing is talking about the Summer Wells case. It's really interesting. Um, I think she brings out the better part of Gray. They have a good show together. So go subscribe. I think it's called, is it So Mean, allegedly? I think it's something like that. I know it's So Mean because of Gray, and she says allegedly. So go subscribe to that. They are really good. They're doing good work over there. But I pretend that I'm part of the show. I talk to them. I listen to them. They played back the Mary Candace phone call. Since I'm from Tennessee, apparently I speak drunken East Tennessee and Candace fluently. So they were like, "What did she just say?" And then I just said, "Well, this is what she said. You guys, did y'all not hear that?" Apparently, I speak drunken Tennessean fluently. Yep. Miss Sweet Lassie. Yay, before bedtime chat with friends. Yep. My goodness, it's late for you guys, though. I know it. I know it's late for you guys. Tracy, yep. She is so funny. She is so funny. If by any chance you ever see this, Tracy, I think you're hilarious. And if you ever want to talk about stuff, you hit me up. I don't care what time it is. I will talk about crap all day long. Um, you agree on the mix. Both are brutally honest. But whenever because she is brutally honest and Gray is brutally honest, and I thought if they do a channel together, oh boy, that's going to be some fireworks. But they both kind of polarize each other out. It doesn't seem over the top. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't seem over the top. Hello, Jennifer. You're not late. We haven't really got there yet. Haven't gotten anywhere yet. Yeah, poor Summer. I've got some people on our Discord server, and if you are not on the Discord server, you don't know what you're missing. There's people in there talking literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is no quiet period. I will wake up to 250 messages, and I can't even keep up with it all. We have some amazing people over there, though. They talk about a ton of stuff. A lot of them talk about Summer, but they talk about all kinds of stuff, true crime and not true crime. There's all kinds of stuff. So come join us on Discord. It's really interesting. But we've got some people out there that really, really research it, and um, they're going to help me kind of. I say that because not like I've asked them to, And not that I'm contributing a ton, but they're doing so much stuff trying to look at the Summer Wells case. And I want to start over, shake the etch a sketch, delete everything that's in my brain that I think I know or have figured out or theory. I just want to start over and say, what do we know? What do we actually know? And base it on some fact. And if you have to speculate to fill in the blanks, like some common sense. Because I want to know where Summer is. I'm sick of hearing about Dawn. I'm sick of hearing about Candace. I'm sick of hearing about their family, their church. I mean, I'm just so sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of feeling like I have to watch 50 bajillion YouTube channels interview these people. Quit it. Quit. Quit interviewing these people. Quit. You are not helping. And I say that as somebody who got way too dang involved in another case for research. I'm being brutally honest. Get out of it. Stop. Stop. You are not helping. You're not helping. I promise you're not helping. It's real easy to get in your brain and think, oh, maybe I can figure something out and law enforcement won't think of it. There have been 125 agencies as of week 3 of her being missing that are involved in this case. There is no telling how many more are involved at this point. I guarantee you, sitting at your computer anywhere, the chances of you thinking of something and figuring it out are slim to none. The best thing you can do, and if you do figure it out, great. The place to put it is not YouTube. Send it in. If you find something you think is relevant, send it into the TBI. That's who's going to do something about it. If you are a YouTuber and you want to help this case, the best thing you can do is put that little girl's picture everywhere. Keep her name in the news. Same with Michael Vaughn. Keep his name, keep his picture, keep it open so people know they have not been found. You know what I mean? That's what you can do as a YouTuber. This is not helping. You don't need to know. You don't need to ask these people about their life. I mean that for everybody. If you were on YouTube talking about this case, quit interviewing people. Quit. Quit. It's not helping. This nail polish is the Sally Hansen Salon Perfect, and I think it is called Old Money. It's like an olivey old gold. I will link it in the thing after the thing is done. I love it though. It is the Sally Hansen glitter. They're the ones in the square bottles, not the little bitty cheap ones. Their glitter formula does not stick to your nails like regular glitter nail polish does, and it's opaque. That's only 2 coats, and it's soft. It's not chunky glitter, and I love it. But thank you. What else we got here? I'm trying to read comments. For the people that are waiting for Equisearch to come back, I don't think, to be quite honest, I do not think they're going to be invited back. I don't. I think the rant between Dave Rader and Tim Coop and that going to YouTube has screwed that. I think they screwed that up. That's just my opinion, though. Just my opinion. Hello, Stormy with a chance of rainbows. Every time I see your name, I want to say your own name because I know it. But hello. Yeah, Michael Vaughn, 40 days, guys. He has been missing for 40 days. And you know what the difference is in him and Summer Wells? His parents haven't put themselves out there. They aren't interviewing with every dang person on YouTube. And so the things that are known about the case are about Michael. I know that I'm in a Facebook group that talks about him. And there are a couple of people that are like, looking at people surrounding him. But I mean, that's going to happen with the missing kid case. Until you are narrowed out, they're going to look at you, because how does a 5-year-old just go missing when he's with you? They're going to ask you questions. That's just the nature of the beast. That's what's going to happen. But you don't have to do 50 interviews on YouTube. You don't have to explain your life, yourself, or anything to YouTube. I promise, it's not helping. The best interviews from Candace and Dawn, or the interviews that were done by the news and by police and that kind of stuff right around when it happened. 82 days out, you don't know when they tell you a story. You're translating Dawn. You're trying to figure out, is that a memory for him, or does he have that? It's a secondary memory. Is he repeating what he's heard Candace say this whole time? It's and Jesus, Candace, you need a freaking Little Orphan Annie decoder ring that tells you to drink more Ovaltine when she does interviews. This phone call with Mary, dear God in heaven, if that wasn't a train wreck. A train wreck. Train wreck. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I bought it. I thought she legitimate, and I'll be honest, I've tried to watch everything I can cram in my brain because I know people are saying that it's a hoax phone call. And if you can tell me why or where that came from, I'm not arguing it. I just want to know where that piece of it came from. I believed Mary. I thought she sounded believable. I believed Candace. I thought she sounded like a completely distraught wife and mother. I did. She has this guttural kind of cry in one part where she talks about, I don't have anybody anymore. And it made me tear up. I'll be quite honest. I, I completely believe that it's a hoax by Dawn. I do know that everybody and their mama has called around and has said he has not been arrested. I get that. But my first opinion of it was, does he have friends that, like, is this a runaway attempt? Because did he get somebody to come pretend he had been arrested by the feds so that he could leave Candace and Candace thought it was real? I don't know. I don't know. And then I wondered, is this whole Mexican mafia cartel BS? Guys, I got a hard time believing some nobody dude in Rogersville, Tennessee is even on the radar of some Mexican drug cartel. I mean, really? Even if you're talking about 50, I've heard two different numbers, 50 and $80,000, that is their pocket change. Why would they even? But going with that, if that turns out to be any kind of truthful, could they have come posing as feds to come get him? Like, did they take Summer and that hasn't worked and now they've come to pick him up? I don't know. I don't know. I doubt it. My other question to that stupidity is, why would they give him money? If he owes them money, it's because they gave him drugs and he didn't sell them or they used them and they didn't get their cut back. They wouldn't have given him cash. Like, if he's talking about being mixed up, and I know Mary says, did he come into money that you don't know where it came from or that you know about? And she said something about, Candace said something about $80,000. Unless I'm missing something here, y'all can explain the Mexican mafia cartel economy. Why would they give him money? Why would he have done that? Like, if they're coming after him, it's because they gave him drugs and he did not sell them, or he kept all the money and didn't give them their cut back, or he had them and somebody else used them all. Not pointing any fingers, but you know what I mean. This just doesn't make sense at all. Equisearch, I'm sorry, I'm probably scrolled way the crap up and you guys are answering questions. Let's see what you guys are saying. You're not talking to me there. You got Equisearch is currently organizing with Duty Run. But the problem with currently organizing with Duty Run is Duty Run doesn't have anything to do with the case. He needs to be organizing with, I guess, not Tim Coop now, because Tim Coop is not the front man. Search and rescue isn't taking it. The sheriff's department's taking it back. So I don't know how him working with Duty Run is doing anything for Equisearch except raising money. I mean, I get that, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't. Deuteron is not going to get him in to search for Summer. And you know why I say that? Because I contacted Deuteron about trying to talk to Dave Rader and Midwest Equisearch about going to look for James Hutchinson. And he said that I just needed to contact him. He didn't have anything to do with it. So I contacted Midwest Equisearch to get them in touch with James Hutchinson's family. So that's why I say that. I don't know how he's going to, Deuteron being from New York, is going to help Dave get Equisearch back into Hawkins County, Tennessee. He's not related to the case. Thank you, Every Day's a School Day, for joining the group. If I missed anybody before that, I'm sorry. I scrolled way up on accident. They're calling it a recovery effort at this point. I hadn't heard that. That's interesting. That's sad. But I mean, the chances of this little girl still being alive 82 days in are nothing. It would have to be a, what is it, J.C. Duggar kind of thing. Hello, Jess. That comes from Kate C. Hello. Stormy. What else you guys saying? If you guys are sick of my rant, you can tell me to stop and I'll shut up. I've even, like, I'm careful what I say because I don't want, not like any of these YouTube creators are ever going to know that I said anything about them because my opinion doesn't count. But, like, I don't even agree with some of the stuff that Chris has done over at the interview room. Just some constructive criticism, I guess. Don't hate the guy. I was a paying member of his channel. I got blocked on his Discord for some reason. I got booted and blocked when I hadn't said anything in over a week. And the last thing I said was, hey, I'm a member on the channel. And I posted a picture of my dog. And I think I said hello to one of the mods. So if you can tell me why that gets you blocked, let me know. Don't know. I thought as far as this case goes, like, I followed the work that he's still doing over Maya. I think he's done a lot of really good stuff with that, keeping her family and stuff in front of the cameras. They're always talking about donate to the search effort, keeping her name going. And that, I think, is wonderful. I got it. I will all day long. What they did with Suzanne, even when he was still over on Profile and Evil, I thought they did a good job with that. However, it seems like the Summer Wells case took a left turn. He came in with the Airstream, and I was like, oh, good. Because honestly, I thought, well, they're going to go in there and they're going to find this little girl. You know, we're going to find Summer. We're going to find Summer. We're going to find Summer. But all we have found is we are going to dig up every little thing in Dawn's past, and we are going to ride it to the end of the world. And if that is the goal, if you are of the opinion that Dawn has been essaying people since he was knee-high to a grasshopper and has gotten away with it for 40 years, by all means, press charges, seek justice in that kind of case. But let's be honest about it. Say that's what you're doing. A lot of people will get behind that. Don't come on saying you're looking for this little girl when all you're doing is chasing around Dawn. Maybe I don't get it. If somebody can explain it to me, maybe I just don't get it. I don't understand how what's going on there is helping find Summer. I don't know how interviewing Hunter and Allie and Leslie and Hunter's grandma, Candace and Dawn and the sisters, their stepsisters, half sisters, nieces, and like poking the bear, like, we know what you're doing. Why don't you go on over there and answer this and this and this, and provoking Dawn to go to another YouTube channel and do another ridiculous interview? How is that helping? I don't understand that whatsoever. And I kind of want to say, like, I know you used to be law enforcement. I know that you work with the Cold Case Foundation, and I think they do amazing work. I'm not arguing about that. What I want to know is, if you weren't on YouTube, how would you achieve what you're doing on YouTube to help find Summer? How would you be if this is legitimately the way a homicide detective works? Because tell me if I'm wrong. That's what he was. He retired as a homicide detective. Without a YouTube channel, how would he do what he's doing to Dawn, and how would that help find Summer? Do you know what I mean? Because here's the thing that I know. Here's the experience I have. I have experience with drug addicts, major drug addicts. My mother started a residential program where we took in women coming directly from rehab and jail to a residential program where they were trying to get their kids back out of foster care, get their lives turned around. It was a very long program. Most people were there for at least 9 months. It was not a wham bam, 6 months, you got your kids back, don't screw it up. It was, we are going to teach you how to budget. If you don't have a GED, we're going to get you a GED. We're going to teach you how to interview. We're going to teach you how to find care for your kids, finding a good daycare, a good babysitter, or whatever. Do you need a driver's license? We are going to facilitate that. We're going to teach you how to get and keep a job. We're going to teach you how to budget and balance your money, how to have a bank account, how to not depend on other people and be self-sufficient. My mom wrote a book. I get it. I've dealt with drug addicts. I've dealt with people coming out of jail. I've dealt with people dealing with CPS all day long. Okay? I've seen it. On top of that, we had a domestic violence shelter. So I've seen that. Been there, done that. What I can tell you about every experience I've ever had is, you do not want to poke desperate people, because desperate people make bad decisions. Not a little bit bad. They make really bad. And there's one lesson that my mom has taught me since I was little. It's always give somebody an out. Don't be the reason that somebody's got their back up in the corner. And what's happening right now, you're seeing. Why is there a hoax phone call going around YouTube? Because people are poking a bear. And what are you going to do? What do you think? You think one day he's going to come out of that house and say, "You're right, guys, I did it. I did it all. I did it all." And he's going to turn himself in? Absolutely not. If we haven't learned anything else about Don Wells, it is that he does not want to go back to prison. He doesn't want to go. So what are you forcing him to? You think he's going to go willingly? He's going to admit it because somebody on YouTube figured it out? Nope. You are pushing him into a corner, and you're not going to like the outcome. If you believe that he is a domestic violence abuser and has hurt Candace, well, right now, guess what? He doesn't have an audience. Candace is in a house by herself with him. Her mom has left. Her kids have been taken away. Her other kid is missing. And all of her friends are talking about her on YouTube. Candace is alone. So if you believe Candace is a victim, if you think Candace knows what happened to Summer and it's about Dawn and she's afraid of him, do you know what we see? You're going to see somebody murder her. You think he doesn't want to go back to prison? You're going to see somebody murder her and then kill himself. I mean, you're pushing it. If you are contacting him to tell him somebody is pressing charges and he's going to go back to jail, you're asking him to run. You're pushing him to run, because what does he have to lose? His little girl is missing, with tied to him or not. His kids have been taken by CPS. His mother-in-law is in another state doing whatever she is doing with her family. All of their friends have gone away. I would say at this point, his church has probably dropped him like a hot potato. The town is all looking at him like he's crazy. I'd say it won't be long. He'll probably lose his job. I mean, this little girl going missing has ruined their lives. And I say that because I don't know if they have anything to do with it or not. You're pushing a desperate man who already has substance abuse history and problems. They both have domestic violence charges, legitimate or not. And now they've lost their kids. you all are poking, and you guys know I don't mean you all in my chat. People on YouTube are poking a bear, and they're asking for it to be just. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty, guys. If you if you care about Summer and you care about those little boys, what are you doing? What are you doing? What if she comes back? Has anybody stopped and think, what if she's still alive? What if something happens? This was all a huge mistake, misunderstanding, and she's okay. And somehow they rescue her and she comes back home. What is she coming back home to? What about the boys? They are still alive. They are still in that town. Dear God, put yourself in those little boys' shoes. They have lost their sister. They've been taken away from their mom and dad. Their grandmother is in another place. And now they've even been busted up from each other. Those three kids are not in the same house. I used to harp about what was it like for them to be at school and the bullying and the whole thing. And I even said it about Hunter. The more the speculation and all that BS comes out on YouTube and on social media, the worse they're going to get bullied because they're still going to school in the same dang town. But now, what have you done to the family? What happens when they go back? If they go back, their rights haven't been terminated. Dawn and Candace, they haven't been terminated. What happens when those boys go back? Do they have a family to go back to? So, what if Dawn and Candace lose their rights to the boys and we never find Summer? Do you think do you think the two of them are going to stay together? I don't. I don't. If not you guys, if Dawn goes to prison for whatever charges from Utah are coming, what has Candace got, guys? No friends, no kids. Her mama has left her. Her husband is in prison. That's my rant. I don't see anything good could ever come out of this at this point. Because I feel sorry for Summer if she has to come home to this. Sorry. And I think even if they found her, is anybody of the opinion that Dawn's probably not going to prison at this point over the charges in Utah? What does Summer come back to? Duty Ron is now the Equisearch coordinator with law enforcement. Okay. Duty Ron is now officially with Equisearch. Okay. Okay. Hello, Paisley Dreams. Anybody else that snuck in? Kristen. Yep. Do y'all think I'm crazy? You can tell me you don't agree with me that that was a stupid rant. I'm not going to be upset. I don't think Dawn is connected to the freaking mafia, the cartel, or any other thing. That's beyond a stretch. If you guys, I know Algo's wanting to come on. Algo, I sent you a thing in Discord if you want to come on and talk about Summer. I think Duty Ron is acting as the middleman because he knows cop lingo. Okay. I don't know. That's between Deuteron and Equisearch, I guess. I didn't know he'd been added to the team. Hello, Rosie. You know, not even just Summer. I'm looking at the victims in this case. The little boys are victims at this point. Summer is a victim. From what we've been told, I'm not even disagreeing. Dawn's stepsisters are victims. I don't know how interviewing them on social media, on YouTube, is helping. I don't. I don't understand that for the life of me. I don't understand it. The interview with Jeannie, and I understand Jeannie went to TBI first. I get that. I don't understand how interviewing her on YouTube is helping her case. How telling Dawn that she's pressing charges beforehand is helping her. I don't. I think as somebody who's spoken to a lot of victims, I don't understand why that interview, if there's a reason for it and there's a valid reason to put that on YouTube, I don't understand why that was a live interview. She was obviously nervous, and I think that you should always give the victim a chance to survivor. I know people don't like to be called victims. Give her a chance to edit. It shouldn't have been a live video, a live interview, in my opinion. It should have been recorded, and after it was done, you should have given her 24 hours to say, I know I said blah, blah, blah. I don't know that I want to put that out there on YouTube. And I certainly don't think it was appropriate to put it in front of the live chat. I don't. But that's just my opinion, that's my opinion. Obviously, I have nothing to do with law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer, never have been, never will be, did not stay at a Holiday Inn last night. But the weirdo people on Facebook, I'll agree with Tracy from Chasing Truth. Whoever pretended to befriend Dawn to slide into his DMs while he's drunk and naked or whatever the heck the story is there, just to publish it, shame on you. That was ridiculous. That does not help TBI if they get it from freaking Facebook. My gosh, that was stupid. How many resources has TBI, Sheriff's Department, State of Tennessee, how many resources have been wasted on this BS? BS. Algo, you're still not in my thing. You're still not up here. Algo might have hated my rant at this point and been like, oh no, not touching that hot mess either. I don't know. I have too many messages on Discord if you sent me one. Tag me in the chat here, like if I need to send you another invite. I don't know. Yeah, so I said, how does that help find Summer? I don't know. I don't know how anything that I just said helps find Summer, so I'm not sure which point you said that, but I don't know how that helps find Summer at all. I don't know. All right. If Algo wants to come on and talk about it, you can jump in anytime. You'll skip this one. Okay, that's good. I gotcha. So, what else do y'all want to talk about? If you guys want to keep talking about Summer, we can. The other stuff that kind of kicked off this week was the 48 Hours Daybell Kids episode. If you guys want to talk about that. What else kicked off this week? The only update on the cases that I follow are Mercedes Lane, the babysitter dude, Travis. Sorry, my brain, when I'm on a rant, my brain goes. He has been charged with her murder, and he went to court Friday to have his stuff read to him, his first appearance or whatever. I don't think he was arraigned. I need to go back and look. I'll do an update video on that tomorrow. Your blood started to boil and you don't have a filter. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Sorry if I made people upset. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, Alex Murdaugh got shot in the head. An I don't follow that case. I know Gray Hughes has covered everything that I've seen about it. Most of what I talk about, are kid cases, and most of those are CPS involvement. Um, I don't know a ton about that case, but yeah, I saw that this week. That was crazy. Somebody's taking that family out piece by piece, aren't they? That's scary. That big family of lawyers better get some security by the looks of it. Oh, he's still alive? Now, see, I'd heard that he'd been shot. I assumed he died. He's still alive? Alex Murdaugh is still alive? Wow. Yeah. Poor Mercedes Lane. That baby didn't have a chance. You're right. Didn't have a chance. Um, yeah, I don't know if Summer's going to be found. It's sad. It's so sad. Did you guys want to talk about Daybells? What did y'all think about the 48 hours? We streamed it on Discord, a bunch of us. I don't even know how many people watched that. There was a ton. There was a ton of people in Discord. Oh yeah, Aiden Fucci went back to court and his mom, right? Um, and he tried to play crazy. Dude, malingering. Don't try to play crazy, especially as a teenager. It ain't gonna work. Go ask that Parkland shooting kid down in Florida. You can't pull it off. Faking crazy is not easy. You want to hear my opinion on the 48 Hours episode? Waste of time. Waste of time. Of the 5 kids, 3 of them were silent. I don't know why all 5 were even on camera. It was the Garth and Emma show, mostly Emma. Um, we didn't learn anything new except they never heard about zombies. They said this can't be a cult because they would have been a part of it if their dad ran a cult. There were 2 pet cemeteries. I'm not sure why is it segregated? Do we have cats on one side and dogs on the other? I don't know. Why we need 2 pet cemeteries on one property beats me. The other thing that beats me is if you are determined that there's a raccoon over there, John Pryor is on the deed to that house. He can absolutely hire somebody to come dig it up and find this raccoon. I don't care if you find a family of raccoons 5 generations back buried on that dang property. Your problem is you had 2 dead kids and a dead wife found on that property. The problem is not a raccoon. Wake up. The raccoon has nothing to do with it. You want to push it? Maybe PETA will come after your dad too. I'm not real sure. I don't care about the raccoon. I don't. I don't care about the raccoon. Garth is saying that he heard a loud bang and then he came in and his mom was halfway in and halfway out of the bed. I'm not sure how much of a loud bang you would hear if she was still half in the bed, but I'll give him that. Maybe her head hit the floor really hard. But that completely flies in the face of what your dad said, which is he woke up and she was cold and she had a peaceful smile on her face, and that she had gone peacefully in her sleep and she had been gone for a while. So I'm not real sure how you're helping your dad's case by saying you helped put your mom back in the bed and that he was pacing the floor, staring at family pictures, saying, I can't believe she's gone. That didn't help your dad. I don't know how that 48 Hours episode helped Chad Daybell. I don't get it. This case is so freaking stupid. It's so stupid. And that's another one. Let's be honest here. Are you all sick of hearing interviews by everybody around this case, too, all over YouTube? I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear them anymore. I don't want to see Julie Rowe anymore. I'm not going to say I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to hear the culty people anymore. Once the media has talked to you, go away. Go away. Quit doing interviews on YouTube. I don't care anymore. And I'm saying that pot calling the kettle black. I mean, I'll be honest. I got a little too wrapped up in the Daybell case. But I can honestly say from experience, bad idea. YouTube, bad idea. Anybody out there that thinks, let's get involved, bad idea. Unless you want to be talked to by the freaking prosecutor and the detective from the case. I mean, if you want to be that kind of YouTube famous, have at it. Would not recommend 0 stars. Let's not do it again. Will not do it again. Will not. And yes, that's a true statement. So anybody that thinks that this is not being investigated, you are sadly mistaken. If you think that BS that we saw last week behind closed doors is about John Pryor's name being on the house that Chad Daybell owns, it ain't. It's not. Start looking around and see who's not talking about it anymore, guys. It's not what it's about. Sorry, I'm trying to read the. I am full of rants. What else we got to do? What else are we going to rant about? I'm sorry. But this is so much better than the rant you would have got Friday, because Friday I was on a roll. I was on a roll. Speaking of Daybell and nothing of the sort, if one of the mods can link Crush's channel, I spoke to Kresha and she's going to start doing lives, I think on Tuesdays, as soon as I know when the first one is scheduled and if it's going to be, like how often it's going to be, if she's going to keep it at the same time on the same day and all that fun stuff. I'll let you guys know. Kresha is an absolute sweetheart. She is one of the most genuine people I've ever spoken to. And she asked me to moderate her channel. So you'll see me over there. She's doing all kinds of research trying to figure this out. It's one of the best things that's come out of this case. I'm really glad that I got to speak with her. And until last week, I had not. So don't take that the wrong way. I'd never spoken to Kresha. Stephanie Rossi, what are you talking about? Dawn's sister, Jenny. There's fight, flight, and freeze. Yeah. I must have missed the beginning of that conversation. I don't know what it is. If this came across, I'll fix it now. I am in no way blaming Jeannie, Mary, any of the people. I don't know if I was in the situation that they're in, if people came to me and said, hey, come on my channel, do an interview, and it will get your story out there and support and explain some stuff. I don't know that in that situation, I might think that's a good idea. But I think the YouTube community needs to stay out of it. Stay out of it. I would love to know what law enforcement thinks. Like, are they like, will you all just shut up? Not the victims, but like YouTube in general. Would you all just let us do our job? I can only imagine the emails that are passed back and forth over at Hawkins County and the TBI right now. Can only imagine. So how many emails did you get of screenshots in one conversation from Facebook last night? Oh, did you have to watch the stupid interview on YouTube again? Did you see the dude that flashed the camera on YouTube? Yes, that actually happened. And how that channel ain't been yanked down, don't ask me. If flashed my stuff all over YouTube, but you would think my channel would be taken down. Crush is fab. What else we got here? Some of these bigger things I can't read. Yeah, I'm not blaming the. I'm not like Dawn. Yeah, I'm blaming Dawn. I'm gonna blame Dawn. Shut up, Jeannie, Mary. I don't even like. Y'all can tell me. Mary hasn't actually done an interview, correct? Only her phone calls have kind of been put out there. That's different. I don't know. I guess it depends on who she gave them to, what they were supposed to do with them. But I'm sure that Lisa Miller, I'm sure they think social media does help them get info. But at day 82, when you have people on opposite sides of YouTube interviewing one person and telling whoever they think is a suspect to go do another interview to answer their questions, to just poke at them and give them a heads up that more charges are about to be pressed on them, I don't think that's helping. Just by leaking the hoax phone call, like people are saying it's a hoax phone call. I'll give them that. I don't know. I'm not weighing in on whether that's truthful or not. I have no idea. The fact that they thought they needed to do a hoax phone call on YouTube to see who a leak was is beyond me. And how many dang people called just to ask, has Don Wells been arrested? Do you think they want to answer that all day long? Nope. Nope. Oh, hi. I can see the person answer. Oh, do you have some information on Summer? No, I just need to verify for my YouTube channel that Don Wells has not been arrested. Is that correct? Has he been extradited to Boston? What the hell is in Boston? I mean, really? Oh, no, no tips. No, this has nothing to do with Summer. I want to know. That's another rant we're going to go on. I, as the general public, think that I am entitled to ask you questions and you need to tell me about an open investigation. Wrong. Wrong. I was asked that this week. What's the problem with the Melanie Gibb phone call being leaked? Isn't that better for the public to know what's going on? We should have some transparency. No, it's not. It is a problem because you know what? Put yourself in those shoes. Let's say that you are accused of murder, okay? I'll even give you the fact that you're innocent. You have hired an attorney who has decided to leak your discovery files to a nobody on the internet. Do you want that out there? Because the general public needs to know? No. Well, now you've been committed to be tested to see if you are freaking bats. And let's also leak your medical records. You really think that that's something that you need out in the public before you've gone to trial in an open investigation? No, that's a problem. And for all the people who say, I think it's fair that we know what it is and we can discuss it, it's not a big deal. Well, my response to that is you, as the general public, don't get to decide what is relevant and to whom and when it comes out in an open investigation. That's up to the investigators and that's up to Rob Wood. I don't care how curious you are. You want an example? The other half of that coin is the Delphi case. Everybody is screaming, we can't figure out who killed the girls. Release some more information. And they're holding it. Why have they not released it? I don't know. But I have to imagine that me in little bitty Knoxville, Tennessee, as a YouTuber, cannot possibly have the experience that I think I should overwrite investigators and prosecutors in what should come out in an investigation. I just don't. It's not right, guys. It's just not right. So, yes, I put the screenshot out about the leak. I personally redacted it because I didn't think it was fair that her medical crap was leaked. And then it was unredacted. And I also asked for the unredacted screenshot to be taken down. So for anybody that's under the impression that I unredacted it and leaked it and want to talk about it, you're wrong. I asked for it to be taken down and I was refused. So wonder about that one. Take that up with somebody else that's supposed to have some ethics. Just because you're curious, have a Facebook group or a YouTube channel, you don't get to decide what's out in the public in an open investigation. You don't. I don't care who you are. Okay. That's my rant to that. Oh, Stephanie Jess. I was surprised to see that deleted all of Paul from reporting live from myself. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not saying that like I'm not going to talk about it. I have no idea about what's going on her channel in regards to anybody. The last time I spoke with her was July 14th. Not a clue. Don't know what's happening over there. Do not care. And please don't send Paul stuff about it. Paul is not involved in that whatsoever and shouldn't be. I don't know why I can't read this today. Probably because my blood pressure's up. Algo, you was probably right. Probably wasn't a good idea to come on here and be all written. Should not have done that video Friday. Glad I got talked out of it. Why do I think they haven't been arrested? They're both on probation, failed a drug screen, bought alcohol for a minor, probably has some pot laying around. If all of that is so, why not? Well, first you should ask why you know that. It has not come from current law enforcement. We do not know that they have failed a drug test any more than we know that they passed a polygraph test. In my opinion, when the allegations that Candace bought Hunter alcohol came out, I said, oh, that's it right there. If that is true, they will lock her up just to be able to question her, and she will either have to lawyer up or answer. You know, that's valid. I did not understand, and the only thing that I can figure is they can't prove that happened. There is no validity to that. And I do question that about the alcohol that was provided to Hunter. When did Allie find out? When did Allie find out about that? Because when Hunter went home, very shortly after that, he went out with his friends to the park until he came home that night after they said Summer was missing. So did she know? Did she notice he had been drinking after he came home? And then let him go out with his buddies, or did she find out he was drinking whenever he came home with his friends? Because that would definitely call into question whether or not Candace gave him alcohol. Because if we think Candace is an alcoholic, Number one, I can't for the life of me figure out why she only bought one alcoholic drink and then would give it to a kid in public in front of another adult. I don't. Um, I do. I believe Candace there, rightly or not, and maybe I will change my mind now that we're trying to strip it back and erase all of our presuppositions to see what I actually think about Summer's case. When Candace says that her mom wanted it, I kind of believe her. I do not think if the story between Hunter and Candace about what happened that day, if that stuff is true or some amalgamation of it, I don't believe that Grandis is acting like a woman who has a legitimately hurt knee that went to the emergency room. I don't. I don't. And you should ask why, when you put Hunter's story and Candace's story together, why is the things that have the biggest discrepancy have to do with Grandma, in my opinion? Why are they saying Grandma didn't get out of the car? Grandma did get out of the car. She gave me alcohol. No, the alcohol was for Grandma. It doesn't make sense to me, guys. Let me go back up. What else we got? Boston is the hub for the U.S. Marshals. Yeah, I get that. But if you're going to extradite somebody, it doesn't happen right then. That doesn't make sense in my brain. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't seem like they would have said, yep, he's being extradited to Boston at 2 o'clock in the morning. Jump in the car, let's go. That's not usually how it happens. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But even if that was true and they were sending him back to the marshals, if he's being extradited because charges were pressed in Utah, why didn't he go back to Utah? And I don't even think they, like, I believe he hasn't been arrested because if it's about the Utah charges, they have to investigate that to some kind of thing. Like, you don't go make a police report and they go arrest somebody immediately, especially in another state. And I don't know how they're going to prove that he did this 40 years ago, even if you believe her. And I do. I think she sounds like somebody who has legitimately gone through that. Allegedly, I would believe her story. Not saying that it's true. Dear God, don't sue me. I'm not involved in this case. So, allegedly, Dawn did this stuff. Whatever. I'm not saying I disagree with her, but 40 years later, you're not talking about physical evidence anymore. You're going to need some witnesses or him to admit to it. And I know Dawn has admitted to messing with her, but everything that he has admitted to, he says he was underage. And I don't know that, I personally haven't seen him admit to doing anything when he was 19. It's not my thing to figure out. That's what they're going to have to figure out. I'm just saying, I don't think they would automatically pick him up the same day she pressed charges in Utah, in another state, and then take him to Boston. If they were going to extradite him immediately like that, it seems like he would go to Utah, right? And that's the other problem. Airing her interview, how does that help the investigation for those charges? Telling everybody. If you have to at least give him the benefit of the doubt, and this goes to a jury trial, how is her giving that whole story and naming other people to the extent that it made other people come out and they're all doing more interviews? That doesn't help legally. Like that, if I don't know. In my opinion, if this has happened to you, you go to law enforcement. You don't air it on YouTube. And I'm not blaming the victims, survivors. I'm blaming people on YouTube, you know? Can they even give out that info? Which part? I don't know. Probably not. If Dawn had not been technically arrested, They just brought him in for questioning, and they can do that for like 24 hours. I mean, I think we've all watched enough Law and Order to we've heard you can only hold somebody for so long, and you either have to charge them or cut them loose. They could be completely telling the truth by saying, "Oh, he's not been arrested." Does not mean he has not been brought in. Mary went on Unmasked a while back. Okay. I don't watch much of that channel. I don't know enough about it. I saw her interview Allie and Leslie, and she read off like a text interview, I guess, that she had done with Candace really early on. That's my only experience with that channel. I have no idea. I haven't watched it since. Oh, that was ridiculous. I'm just going to agree with you, saying because I have no idea what was ridiculous, but most of what I said is ridiculous. So the more leaks, the more trails they have to follow. Yeah. Oh, Chris came on that interview too. I'm guessing you're talking about Unmasked. Can they even give out that info? I don't know. I'm not caught up on. I don't know what you're asking, like which info. I'm going to say no or maybe. That was a big waste of resources with the hoax. Absolutely. And you know what? It tears at people's heartstrings because I felt sorry for Candace. Like, if that is something that her and Dawn cooked up and she went along with it, give that dang woman an Oscar because I bought it. I bought it. I'll be quite honest. And it makes me question everything I know about this. If she is willing to do that, it makes me question everything. Everything. Hello, G Maps. I just saw you. Um, People are inserting themselves into open investigation. It's very disturbing. Yeah, that is. Oh, Boston is where the U.S. Marshals are. Yep. Maybe I'll scroll up too far. I appreciate your bluntness and common sense seems to be an endangered species. Yeah. It's a problem if it interferes with true discovery. I agree. So very true, and people should be warned once and then charged for wasting police time. That happens here in Canada. It's interesting. Algo says hell no to something. Not a clue, but I agree with you. Mary was originally on Unmasked on July 23rd. It's called Dawn Wells' Sister Speaks. Okay. I was surprised. Oh, wait. I did scroll way up. I don't know. That's about all. Candace is brainwashed. I feel sorry for her. The info was that Dawn had been arrested. Yep. You know, if it did anybody is anybody under the impression that I know some people say that that's not even Candace. I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know. Are y'all under any impression that that woman was not seriously lit? I mean, like drunk, 10 sheets to the wind. You would think if you were lying about that, it would not be what you planned to put a drunk woman on the telephone and hope that she could pull that off. That's kind of part of the reason I bought it was like, who would cook up a scheme to put a drunk woman on the telephone and think that they could convince people of something? Too many options for them to be like, what? I got lost. What? There's story is your story, and other people have their story. Not really. Okay. Hello, Hot Scorpio Rouge. I think that was to whether. Oh, the hell no! I think that was what I thought. If it was okay to leak the diagnosis, yeah. The drama surrounding the wells makes my brain short circuit. Yep. Does anybody else not think this has already surpassed the Watts level of crazy? I mean, for crying out loud, we are talking about the Mexican mafia drug cartel in regards to a 5-year-old missing girl from nowhere, Tennessee. Oh, she was drunk, all right. Dawn got her whipped up into trial brainwashed. Yeah, I probably wouldn't argue that one. Allegedly. I see why Tracy says allegedly a lot. Don't sue me. Oh, God, that was my comment. I was talking about whether even be entitled to ask, and he answered it wouldn't happen here in Ireland. Gotcha. I think we all feel that. Hello, Sassy Cat. Hello, Kathy. It's a pretty big red flag. Pointed out on a video, Chris was asking him about a timeline, and his mom mouthed, "What? Yeah, I that that craziness, that interview with Hunter, with Allie and Leslie and his grandma there, that was a train wreck in my opinion. I think the ethical problem I had with that was when Hunter started naming drug dealers in town. I understand that they bleeped out the name. At least they did that. If I was Hunter's mom and I had his best interest at heart, and I think if I was Chris and a former law enforcement, I would have said, that doesn't go on TV. That comment gets completely edited out. I do not need a 15, 16-year-old kid running around nowhere, Tennessee, finding out that he is naming drug dealers to law enforcement or anybody investigating this case. But I'm not accusing Allie of having Hunter's best interests either. I think what her and her husband are doing is ridiculous, fighting over social media. They've doxed him. They get that transporter guy involved. He puts out Hunter's full name, his birthday, his mom's address, his dad's address, his custody agreement. Um, all of that was ridiculous. All of that was ridiculous. Thank you for the super sticker, Rosie. Rosie's my sticker girl. I just, if it was my kid, like, if I had a 15-year-old, and I do, I have a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old, and an 18-year-old. If I was involved in a case like this, I would not be putting them in interviews. I would be like, they have spoken to law enforcement, and that's all you need to know. You don't need to know any of this, any of it. Problem with comments via text is it's too easy to misread things others say. So, yeah, I agree. A lot of things in text can be taken the wrong way. I believe so too. Haiku about the age interview. Yep. Thanks, Rosie. I'm not going to talk about the diagnosis. It's out there. I'm not. Yeah, if you're a channel member, you get custom emojis, one of which is it's freaking bats, which Sandy put in the chat. Um, yeah. Why does a 15-year-old know about drug dealers? Bingo. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Hunter wasn't naming drug dealers to law enforcement. Chris was not acting in that capacity. Yeah. Well, that's very sweet, Heather Coleman, but I am absolutely old enough for that many teenagers. I had my oldest son when I was 20. Yeah, Miss Wheeler, I see that's worrying that a 15-year-old knows about drug dealers and is stupid enough to say their name. The mouthing to Hunter during the interview needs to be analyzed by the behavior panel. Yeah, I don't know. But that's another channel I love. I love the behavior panel. Y'all watch that? I love that channel. I like a good interrogation. I think it's training for anybody with teenagers. I will watch 2, 3, 4 hour interrogation videos. I love it. I'd like to do that sometime on this channel, talk about interrogation videos. Not like I can analyze them, but maybe just as a reaction. Y'all can watch me watch those and I'll just say, oh, that's a liar. Oh. I love watching interrogation videos. Someone came up with an interesting theory about Lori's brother, who is to say that she didn't take the phone. He wouldn't be that thick to take his own phone there. Are you talking about when the kids were buried? Gosh. I'll be real honest, guys. It's hard for me to talk about Daybell's like details like that stuff because I have this. What do you know? What is your opinion that's been given to you? And what are you not supposed to know? If that's what you're talking about, Alex taking, like it could have been Lori at Chad's house the days the kids were buried. They also have, um, at least the day JJ was allegedly buried. They have him at the taco place with a receipt, and I believe it's also been said that there was footage of that. And also later the night when they came back to Yellowstone, he went to a gas station for a short amount of time, and I believe that's also on video. Believe. If it's not, I'm sorry. To be quite honest, I don't think anybody in that group is smart enough to think, let's switch phones. I don't. I don't. You're obsessed with the behavior panel. You don't always agree with their analysis. That's fair. Me too. I agree. I watched their most recent video on Stephanie Lazarus. Yeah, It's a good one. I remember. Do you guys remember the any of you guys that came from Paul's channel? I know you do. The Tycoon, what was her name? Amber Geiger. During the Amber Geiger trial, there were news stations that were saying that she was the first female enforcement officer that was going to go to prison. How did they word it? The first convicted female law enforcement officer that was going to prison for murder or whatever. And I was like, y'all ain't met Stephanie Lazarus. She was the first. My parents are in Panama. I talked to my mom yesterday. She was like, "We have these. Did we tell you about our friends? They're both retired LAPD, um, police officers from LA." I was like, "Really? How long are they like retired?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I said, "How long have they been retired?" Then mom said, "Probably 15 years or so, maybe 10 years." I said, "You should ask them if they know Stephanie Lazarus." And mom was like, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah. Ask them if they ever worked with Stephanie Lazarus." Mom said, "Who is that?" I said, "Just ask." Because if I told mom, it's this woman who was convicted of murder while she still worked there, mom would have been like, "No, we're not talking about that." But I'd like to know if my mom's new friends ever worked with Stephanie Lazarus. My mom is so. You would expect, like, when you hear it's somebody who's worked with drug addicts and getting kids back from CPS, and then a domestic violence shelter, a person who started and ran that for as long as she did. I think it was about 15 years altogether. We had it. She will not talk about crime at all. At all. It drives me bad. Because I would love to know what my mom thinks about certain cases. And she was like, she will say, "How's your YouTube channel going? How's your little thing going? Are you covering lots of cases?" And I'm like, "Yeah, have you heard about the such and such case?" And she's like, "I don't want to know. Don't tell me about it. Don't tell me about it." It's so funny. But I guess if you're in that for any amount of time, you want to be out, you know? Catching up on comments again. I'm sorry. I don't know. Do you guys care that I get quiet because I'm trying to read comments? Because I'm trying to talk to you guys. I like it. I don't know. I like a ton of different kind of lives, but I like it when people read comments and it's a back and forth conversation. If you guys are here to just watch me talk to myself, it's probably not going to be here very long. And Biggie Smalls. Chelsea, what are you talking about? And Biggie Smalls. Oh, I should ask if they were there. Um, it is funny though. My mom came to me, and this has been in the past 6 months, and she was like, "Have you?" You could tell that she was when I told her that my channel got monetized, and she was like, "So how many people, watch it?" And we were having a little, and I'm like, "It's a nothing channel, mom. It's not very big at all. Nobody knows who I am." She was like, "I saw something, and it's a case that you could probably talk about it. Have you ever heard of Chris Watts?" And I was like, it was so funny. Be like, she whispered his name, like literally, "Have you heard about Chris Watts?" 3 murders while committing robbery in 1995. How go? What are you talking about? I ask too many questions and then I get behind in comments and then I'm like, "Wait, what was that? What is that answer to?" That's my biggest problem. Yeah, it was so funny. So my 14-year-old son, has a friend who lives right down the road from us. So him and Cooper go to school together, and either he will go to Cooper's house or Cooper will come over here. And he is the most polite little boy I've ever seen. He's 14. He's not a little boy. But he stuck out his hand and said, called me Miss Nelson and introduced himself. And he said, Elijah told me you have a true crime YouTube channel. And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, I want to be an detective when I'm older. And I said, oh, wow, that's really cool. He's like, I really like serial killers. And I'm like, is your mom good with that? Because I can imagine he's going to go back home after talking with me, and his mom is going to be like, where the hell did I let him go for Saturday afternoon? He came back talking about serial killers. Because he was like, do you know anything about the Ted Bundy case? And I was like, yeah, kid, I know about the Ted Bundy case. I'm like, okay, how to have a conversation with a 13-year-old that doesn't go off the rails, Because my first thought was, have you ever watched that show Mindhunter on Netflix? And then I'm like, no, he doesn't need to watch that show on Mindhunter on Netflix. And because then I wanted to say, have you ever heard of Ed Kemper? And then I'm like, no, don't say that. Don't say that out loud. 13-year-olds don't need to know about Ed Kemper. Fun fact, if you didn't know, Ed Kemper narrates a handful of audiobooks, by the way. You want a serial killer to read you to sleep? Fun fact. You want to do an interview with Jess's mom. Mom's coming home around Thanksgiving to Christmas time, and I'm debating that. I'm going to have to talk her into it. I think the only way I'll be able to talk her into it is if it's a recorded thing. I think if I told her it's a live interview and she saw chat scrolling with questions, it would. I don't think she'd do it. So if you want that to be a thing, let me know. Send me some questions you want to ask about my mom. I will tell you, if I do an interview, I'm going to ask her what it's like to have the best kid in the whole world. How did she end up being the luckiest mom in the world? That'll be my first question. My mom is freaking hilarious, I'm telling you. Oh, what happened? I missed whatever. What did Be Quiet say? I must have missed it. Hello, woman of steel. You had a student on my bus doing a report on the Zodiac killer. It was great. Yep. But you think, like, when you hear it took me a minute. I'm like, okay, 13-year-old. You cannot recommend documentaries, Sascha. You cannot. Do not tell him to go watch Mindhunter. I did tell him, what you should do is read a book, and you should read Across the Table by John Douglas, or what it's close to that. I think it's called Across the Table, which is who Mindhunter is about, John Douglas. If you haven't read that book, it's good. Did I tell y'all about the book club? I talked about it in my Get Ready With Me that I filmed for the Patreon and channel members. Did I talk about that after I went live today at all? His voice is strangely soothing. Yeah, I've listened to it. It's wild. I don't know what's going on with Be Kind, but I'm sorry. I know you've been through a lot the past few weeks even. So if it's related to that, take care of yourself. Stop the chat. I have to let the dogs out for Okay, Miss Wee Lassie. We'll pause it. We'll wait for you to come back. Nobody say anything hilarious. We're waiting on Miss Wee Lassie. You're just going to go buy books narrated by Ed Kemper. Yeah. The Gentle Giant, Ed Kemper. Jazz, can Nicole K. North Korea, still be arrested in the murders of Shanann and the children, or is it too late? I, I, there is no statute of limitations, like too late when it's murder. There is no statute of limitations. If she had anything to do with it and there was evidence brought forward, I don't, I don't see why she couldn't be. Um, it's never too late to be arrested for murder, but I don't think she is involved. Yeah, it's never too late to be arrested for something like that. I used to be on that bandwagon of I really thought I don't know, my feelings have kind of changed. I think the more Chris Watts talks, the more I think she was very manipulated. I do think she allegedly um had some knowledge that she claims that she didn't have. I don't know that she. There were questions that I think she should have been asked in those interviews. I think she gave some interesting answers to things that should have been followed up on, and that drove me nuts. I don't think her dad should have been allowed in the room when she was questioned about things. So anyway, if I missed, I don't know if anybody answered that or not. If I missed it, I'm gonna start a book club for channel members, Patreons. So um, it's gonna be a true crime book club. It's not all gonna be nonfiction. We'll do some fiction stuff too. So if you're in that group or you're interested and want to join that group, um, come join Patreon or be a channel member. We're going to do that. And we're going to vote on the book. I will try to make it one that's available digitally, or else I will not be able to read it. But I'm going to try to find one on like Kindle Unlimited or something that you're going to be able to get at the library or whatever, because I don't want everybody to have to buy something to come go on my channel. Um, But yeah, I wouldn't, I said the John Douglas one, he has a couple of them. I think he actually has a book called Mindhunter. Um, but his book Across the Table was really interesting. The book by Patricia Cornwell about the Body Farm. I think it's called The Body Farm. That's a good one. I'm a sucker for any Agatha Christie book. There's, what is the title of the book? The Most Prolific Serial Killer You've Never Heard of, and it's about Israel Keys. I love the Israel Keys case. I love it. If you haven't listened to True Crime Bullshit, it's a podcast. Yes, that is what it's called because Israel Keys says that phrase in one of his FBI interviews. If you have not listened to that podcast, you are in for a treat. Go get it. Go listen to it. Season 1 is about Israel Keys. Season 2 is about somebody else who's just as twisted. I can't for the life of me remember her name. She killed a lot of people, though, a lot of men. She tries to say that her and her husband did it and he made her do it. I don't believe that. She killed him too. Um, it was crazy. But then season 3 is back to Israel Keys, and he just now started up season 4. So if you're looking for a podcast and you have not listened to True Crime Bullshit, go download it. It's very good. It's very good. The Israel Keys, the psychology of Israel Keys fascinates me. because you would think he is so. You would think he doesn't have a conscience. But then the way that he reacts and feels about his daughter completely throws you for a loop. Completely. Oh gosh, are you talking about our Ziggy? I thought about her the other day. Yeah. Yeah, Ziggy did love the book thing, the book club over on Paul's channel. God, I miss that woman. We lost we lost Ziggy and we lost Denise, and the world is not a better place for it. They were two amazing women. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, the book club will be fun. I really like that. So, if that's something you're interested in, you can put it down in the messages. Questions you want me to ask my mom, and books that you would suggest for the book club. My last live has 0 comments. There's like 3 comments in the last live, which was really weird. I don't know if I hit a weird algorithm or I didn't tell y'all to leave stuff down in the comments, but do that. Um, we didn't talk about that this time. If you missed the last live, we announced that we as a channel have a new charity. It's going to kind of be like an angel tree because that's kind of how it came to me. It's called Heaven Sent. Quaffle Knox has made an amazing logo that I forgot to put up here to tell you guys because I didn't think about it. So we are going to go through some of the cases that I've covered this past year and find cases that there are still children involved in. It came to me about James Hutchinson. He has an older brother and sister, and I kind of want to do an angel tree kind of thing. So we are going to raise money to, depending on how much we raise between now and December, maybe by Thanksgiving, maybe December's pushing it too far back, but how many kids we or families we can take. And we're going to get a gift list. I'm going to reach out to some of the families that I can because there have been quite a few families that have reached out to me after I've done a video on a child, and I want to send them some stuff for Christmas this year. And the charity is called Heaven Sent. We have a PayPal account. It is not tied to my bank account at all. I would suggest you donate directly to PayPal because all of that money will go, as opposed to if you just join Patreon or whatever, all of that money will go to that. And it's just going to stay in PayPal till December. I'm going to order gifts on Amazon and have Amazon ship it to the place where we're sending it. Next year, it'll be a year-long charity. We're going to, instead of doing it all at Christmas, because a lot of people donate stuff at Christmas, I would like to get the kids' birthday and send the kids gifts on their birthday instead of a big bunch of them at Christmas. Because Christmas is already hectic without trying to add taking care of angel tree kids like all at Christmas. And that way there's not a ton of money sitting in a PayPal account for a year. You know what I mean? So if that's something that you are interested in, I think the mods have the link. If you don't know you have the link, it's in the link channel in Discord. But it's completely separate. I will do a live, like if you have an idea about it or whatever, it will be transparent as I'll get out. I will show you how much money was donated. Maybe I'll do a live where we shop for the gifts, and I will show you that all the money goes back out. I'm not taking any of it. None of the money is mine. So anybody that wants, and there's already a handful of donations in there. So if you're one of the people that donated, thank you. I appreciate it. And I think it's going to be super fun. I think it would be fun to do a live where we get to send some stuff. You know what I mean? Because nobody, I don't think like what happens to the other kids. So first time I thought about it was during the Heidi Broussard case. Do you remember Silas was her son? Do you remember how he kept talking? It kept being brought up that he was so excited because his mom had bought him books at the book fair the day that she went missing. And I was like, my God, if I could find a book of the month club to send to him every month anonymously, I would do that. So I kind of want to do the same thing to the kids that we've talked about. I've kept a list since the day my channel started of every single kid we've ever talked about. And to be quite honest, that list is way too long for my liking. What was the name of the podcast? It's called True Crime Bullshit. The FBI in one of his interviews asked him if he watches something, and he said, "I'm not into all that true crime bullshit." So the guy named his podcast that. It's not gory. So if you're one of those people that's like, I don't do true crime podcasts because they have too many details, he is hugely respectful for the families. If you are looking for details about the actual crime, you're not going to get it there. He will talk about the cases, but mainly what he focuses on is Israel Keys and where he was and what he did and trying to piece together stuff. So the third season, he got such a response of great people around him that they really started researching because and I agree with him, the people that Israel Keys has admitted to killing, that is not it. Fun fact, did you know he was stationed down at Fort Hood? You know how many missing people there were down in Fort Hood? Down in Texas. They found people looking for, why can't I think of her name? Not that long ago. Vanessa again. That's her name. They found missing people's bodies looking for her. There's a ton of missing people down there around Fort Hood. Oh, I missed the super chat thing. Thanks, Sandy. I'm glad Chelsea caught it. For heaven's sake, I will move that over. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. So y'all think that's a good idea? I was afraid people would be like, oh, great, another YouTuber that's going to take some money. I really want to do that. Scrolling up. I don't know what just made every day a school day spit out her coffee, but it's probably hilarious. I need to figure out what it is. Yeah, Josh Hallmark. I'm probably way scrolled back. Yeah, Josh Hallmark. Josh Hallmark is the guy who does true crime bullshit. Who is this shared person in a wedding dress? I don't know anything about sharing a wedding dress. Shares that, well, I only know two shares. One was married to Sonny Bono, and the other is a YouTuber that apparently talks to Dawn nonstop, every day, all day. I don't know. Yep, Vanessa again. I definitely scrolled up too far. I need to listen to Algorithm. Is Algorithm a podcast that I need to listen to? I will look that up. Fort Hood is a spooky place. It absolutely is. Kathy, it is. And for anybody that thinks it's going to get shut down, it is not. It is the biggest U.S. military installation in the United States. They're not going to shut that down. It's not even on the list of bases to shut down. There's a running list that they publish every year. If you don't know, my husband's military. There is a list that they publish every year of the top 15 or so bases that are on the chopping block, and it's kind of like which one, if they decided to shut them down in order. Fort Hood is nowhere near it. It's huge. Texas is huge. Oh, Jamie Kloss. Yeah, Jamie Kloss. You know, that's another one. That poor girl went through hell. Do you remember that a lot of people drug her, even like on social media, saying that she had ran away? They blamed her. And I mean, that dude, uh, Jake, my son, when I said Jake, the first thing that went through my brain was Jake from State Farm. I think he dressed up as Jake from State Farm for Halloween one year. Or he wanted to. Now I don't remember. Um, he happened to see her getting on the school off the school bus one day, and he said he had to have her because he was attracted to her beautiful red hair. He came back to her house later, shot one of her parents through the door, and then killed the other one, snatched her, and ran. Had not even, if I'm correct, had not even laid eyes on her less than 24 hours before this happened. She didn't know who he was. Hid her underneath his bed and all kinds of crap. She managed to get out and run in the freaking snow barefoot. She managed to escape, and then she comes back home to what? Her whole family had been slaughtered. I mean, I can't even imagine. That's what I think about, like Summer, what I was talking about earlier. I'm not going to start the rant again. If they found Summer, what would she come home to right now? You know? Yeah, it was like 4 missing people looking for Vanessa. I'm going to scroll down. I know. I'm probably way, way behind. Looked like it'd been hit by a train. Don't know what we're talking about, but I would agree. Jamie Kloss being found. You remember somebody taking credit for her being found? I don't know what that's about. You'll have to tell me about that one, Haiku. I don't know about that one. Can you imagine the same home and had to go to foster? Yeah, if she came home and then she will absolutely go to foster care. I can promise you that. CPS has taken her brothers. That little girl will not step foot on that property, in my opinion, if she's found alive. Absolutely not. I'm sorry, guys. I'm too opinionated to set an example. I'll go. You're fine. You're fine. Hopefully, Summer would go too. Yeah, I'm sure she would. Um, let's talk about that for a second. So the phone call that is Dawn and Mary listening to it. Now this is before the hoax phone call. None of that. So when I heard it, I listened to it. And what stuck out to me was there's a part where Mary says she's gonna press charges on you, Dawn. Her and her friend, and he says, really when? And she's like, today. They're gonna press charges on you today. And Dawn says, and you can tell he's mad. I mean, as anybody would be. He says, really? What is she going to do about my 4 kids? Is she going to take my 4 kids and raise them? What's going to happen to my 4 kids? That stuck out to me like a lightning bolt in my brain. If he has anything to do with Summer's disappearance, he would not have counted her in that group. Did you all catch that? I haven't heard anybody else say that. But when he said, is she going to come take care of my 4 kids? I was like, crap, he ain't got nothing to do with this. This is before the hoax phone call, though, so I don't know how I feel about it. But that was the one line in that phone call that stuck out to me. Is she going to come take care of my 4 kids? And then you can tell his brain caught that he said that because he said, if Summer comes back home. So of all the people says that, when he talks about the resurrection or statistically, she's probably not alive. In his brain, in that moment, Summer was still alive. To me, that's not somebody that killed his daughter. You know what I mean? Hello, love my Charlie face. That's why I say find Summer, not bring Summer home. Yeah, I would agree with that. You really think they sold her? I don't know what I think anymore, guys. I don't know what I think. I don't. I don't know who did it. I don't know who's involved. I just know this is a hot mess express. Oh crap, another head spin. Just when you think I'm not paying attention. Yep, he did totally say that. I went back and re-listened to it. The reward money? I don't know. Reward money usually doesn't get claimed in a lot of cases like this. It's very few and far between. I don't know that it's actually effective. I don't know. I mean, look at the reward money for the West kids, stuff like that. I was on Candace's side until the phone call too, so that's why I'm asking. Can anybody point me to why everybody's saying it's a hoax? That because I want to know. Did Candace really know? Like that was the thing. Like, did she actually do that? She was part of it and pulled off that. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Yeah. Because my God, when that woman starts crying and she says when Mary asks her, "Is your mom coming back?" and she says no, I think she says something crazy about. I swear she says something about the insurrection in Washington or something about the Capitol insurrection, whatever she said. But it was like, okay, I've got the little orphan Annie Dakota ring. I speak fluent drunk Tennessean, but even that one was beyond me. But when she gets to that point and she just has this guttural sob and she says, "No, everybody's gone and I'm all alone." And she cries. It absolutely broke my heart. And if that is fake, screw you and the horse you came in on. You know what I mean? I hate to think that that's fake, but I don't know. The Hot Mess Express needs to be merch. Right along with, "Hey, train wreck, this ain't your station." Linda Strickland, terrible storm here. Keep losing my Wi Fi. I'm sorry. You seem to have the worst luck on like Sundays. I'm going to switch days up. How long have I kept you guys? Good Lord, it's 2 hours. I heard a comment on AB. I don't know who AB is. That Dawn was bragging about taking out a $50,000 loan. Has anybody else heard it? I have not. No idea. I have not heard that. Yep, Shannon Matthews. Who is Shannon Matthews? I don't know that doesn't ring a bell in my brain. Tell me what you're talking about. Check this out about the missing kids in Oregon. Is that the video I watched, Chelsea? About kids that had wandered off and were found way out alive, way further than anybody thought they would be. Is that video? That was shocking to me because Oregon is not a hospitable place to be lost. Linda Strickland, we're glad to have you. Yep. I love that one too. I haven't heard the call. Whose channel is it on? The one with Candace Upset. I personally heard the phone call on So Mean Allegedly. And then I heard it again on Just Chasing Truth channel, and Gray Hughes played it too. I think if you want a shorter, concise version of them breaking it down piece by piece and stopping it, I think the video, the live that they talk about it on So Mean Allegedly is the one to watch, because the show that Gray did was really long. It's like 3 or 4 hours. This one was pretty concise. Chelsea says, yeah, that video that Chelsea linked is fascinating. You should watch it. Yeah, you thought she said something about the insurrection too, but yeah, that was, and that one was a head scratcher. I'm like, okay, let's sit down to booze. Let's talk for a minute. It was funny listening to Tracy and Gray try to figure out the part. They were like, do you have like an EVP reading? Like, what the hell was that? And I'm like, it was me and a couple of mods that were listening to the stream at the same time. And I said, oh, she just said that he's never been away from the kids this long. And it took him a few minutes to figure that. It's like, that is probably not a skill you should brag about having, Jessica. You sent me a link about Shannon Matthews. Okay, I will go look at that. Mother had her hidden at a friend's house and then reported her missing. Went on for a while. Apparently wanted them. Wow. Wow. She hid her kid to get money. That's crazy. That is crazy. Shannon Matthews is English. She claimed her daughter was kidnapped to raise money. The child was found alive, hidden. Wow. She should never have gotten out. Are you saying that the woman who reported her kid missing is already out? This isn't a recent thing. She's already been prosecuted and gotten out. Jeez. Didn't that Ernie dude attend the Capitol? I have no idea. Bert and Ernie could have been at the Capitol insurrection. Do you know what my happy tail was doing during the Capitol insurrection? Oh, was live streaming the Daybell 2-day hearing mess. That's what I was doing when that happened. That's why I remember what day that stupid hearing was on, because it was the day the Capitol riot thing went on. Who is the share person? I'll go. You can answer that one. I don't know enough about her to say. I watched one video on her channel, and I was like, really? Because she was interviewing Dawn, and I was like, okay, let's see what this hot mess is about. So then I went backwards and just tried to figure out what her channel was about, and then I was like, oh, I don't know that this is a place for me. Oh, that case was back the same time as Madeleine McCann. Okay. Wow. She was sent to prison but was released not that long ago. Jeez. Jeez. To be fair, she didn't kill her kids. Just saying. Yeah. I get you. Well, it's been 2 hours, guys. It went really, really quick. I don't feel like I've been here for 2 hours. Technically, I've been sitting here for 3 hours because I did the get ready with me the hour before. I know other people have live streams on Sunday. It doesn't feel like it's been 2 hours. I always feel like I need to cut them loose so they can go watch other people. I need to cut them loose. I need to share. Oh, jeez. Okay. Interesting. I don't like. I don't have a problem if people want to say, "Oh, hey, have you seen such and such video on what's her face's channel?" I don't have a problem with that. Everybody, just know, just because you're talking about a channel in my comment section, that is not me sponsoring that. That is an okay channel. That's for you to go watch and make up your own decision about. I will have a problem if people say, "Oh, hey, so and so YouTuber is going live. Let's all go over there." That might hurt my feelings, and it probably won't last long. But I don't care if y'all ask, like, what channel is that video on? That doesn't bother me. What is that? You have to go to sleep now. Work? Flame Lily, that's not fun. Nope, nope, nope. It's 1 a.m. here. Miss Lee Lassie. Miss Wee Lassie. I said that wrong. You're not missing out on anything. It's not good. 1 a.m. was just an excuse for more coffee. I hear you. I hear you. So, tomorrow I'm going to get some videos done because my husband and my boys are supposed to go to Dollywood. So, I will be home with the dog and the hedgehog, and I think I might actually get some work done. So, I'm going to do some update videos on some cases we've already talked about on my channel before. There's a list a mile long of cases that I did not even get to this week that are terrible, and I at least want to put them in a video. If not by themselves, I will put them together. 5 cases you probably missed, something like that. So I'm going to work on that tomorrow. Things are starting to calm down in the background around here. So I'm trying to get back to doing my videos every day. Wednesday will be another episode of, what did I call it? Only the Truth, Just the Facts. What did we name it? I don't remember now. Only the Truth. So we will do that on Wednesday. And then we'll be back here next Sunday on Hearsay. Sometime this week, if you were somebody that was a Patreon or channel member that ordered the Hunt a Killer box and missed the game yesterday, contact me. Anyhow, smoke signal, I don't care. Email, Patreon, comments, Discord, whatever. If there's a handful of people that want to get together and do the game this week, I will do that again before we move on to box 2. Let me know. If you guys have suggestions or want to participate in the book club, leave it in the comments or any of the other things. Email me, Twitter, Discord. Just get in Discord. It's so much easier. But anyway, if you have suggestions about the book club and all that, have at it. And anybody that wanted to send me questions to ask my mom, I'll start making that list. So in the description box will be the Patreon link, the membership link. There's a link to Heaven Sent PayPal, the charity that we talked about. What else do I need to talk about? What else is coming up this week? I don't know. I'm blank. But I'm going to turn you guys loose because 2 hours on a Sunday, I have to eat dinner with my kids. I get to eat dinner with my kids. Watch how you word that. One of these days, I don't want to eat dinner with you. there are other people that are going to be going live, I'm sure. But I appreciate you guys spending 2 hours with me. It was nice talking to everybody. So, until next time, I'm going to shut up because Algo always says I get cut off like mid sentence when I turn this off. So, until next time, bye guys.